I felt my sole obligation was to take care of my daughter and be a responsible man. So that's why I went to the military, is because I had an obligation to take care of my family. I knew I wanted to care for people, so that's why when I went into the Army, I became a medic. My first experience with combat, there was actually a firefight when we got called in the night the ground war started. All of a sudden, the siren goes off and there's a blast of medevac, medevac, medevac. One individual got wounded pretty bad. They called us in, we landed, you're taking fire from the enemy while you go in. I hop out of the aircraft, they're putting ground cover for me as I'm running over to the patient. And when I get there, I hear incoming. So I covered him up and the round hit the ground, which gives you a thud. And for a second or so, nothing happens. Complete silence, life is still. And then there's this massive explosion. Once the debris stopped falling, I then did a self-check to make sure that I was okay. It's a loud ringing going on in your head, but some sense of reality says you're not hurt, you're not wounded, it's time to get you out of here. Both of his legs were severely injured. I was looking to throw him on the litter that I had took out there. He grabs me and climbs over my shoulder and says, "Get us out of here." So now I'm running with him over my shoulder. He's patting me on my back like I'm a horse. And him and I dive in the helicopter and we fly off. And that was my first combat mission. As I look back on it, I believe we just suppressed it. You know, we came back, we gave each other high fives, we got in it there, we got out of there, we saved our wounded, and we never really even processed the fact that that we were in a situation where we ourselves could have been killed. And then when 9/11 hit, I couldn't turn off the anger of what happened. I thought I had a handle on it. But lo and behold, I didn't. I didn't. And I didn't because the anger that I harnessed began to come out in different ways. My family and I were really close. We did everything together. But I began to exhibit frustrations about the dumbest things. Things like I'd come home and they'd have the windows open and I could see all the way through the house and I'd get I get mad because I felt like they weren't listening to me. And I was trying to protect them. And I'd say stuff like, you know, the enemy can see you in here, but you can't see what's out there. And they would say stuff like, that would be true if we were overseas in a war, but we're on Pinewood Avenue. The reason I learned that I got so enraged was because I never learned how to properly process or compartmentalize the situations and the circumstances I had been in my life. That came later in life because when I pushed my family away, I began drinking to pacify the pain. So I was sitting there one morning, it was around 9 o'clock in the morning with a glass of scotch, when my friend Anthony called me and said, "Hey man, what you doing, bud? I'm just checking on you." And man, I got me some scotch, you ready to watch the news, and never factoring that it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And Anthony loved me so much that I won't go into detail some things he said, but at the bottom line was, it's time to get you some help. That's when I went into treatment and learned it was there, where they peel back the onion. And it's not easy. It's not easy seeing how broken you were. But I believe what many are good at is showing you that it's not about being broken, but about being human. And then they show you how to draw on those things that give you strength to be a functioning human again. They show you how, when you get angry like that, how not to channel all of life's situations and circumstances and everything bad into that moment, but look at that one situation and figure out a way how to make that better. They teach you that kind of stuff. And I'm glad they did, because if you apply the tools that we give you, what you're gonna find out is your tomorrow is gonna be a whole lot better than your today.